Welcome to Unleash Your Courage. Whether you're listening live with us on Turf Step Radio, with us on Facebook, or listening by recording, we're so glad you're back and with us. And I could not be more excited. We have two awesome guests in the house that were great sports, and we had some things shuffle around, and they agreed to join me at the last moment. And I'm excited to have conversations with them today. So thank you, John and Oscar, for being with us.
Thanks for the invitation. It's always nice to be able to see you and to share.
Yes, absolutely. I guess I have a habit now of putting you on the spot, John. When we were in Orlando just a few weeks ago, JC and I speaking at the PWMCA, John was there with Responsibid, and no warning, literally just walk up to him with our videographer, put a microphone on him and say, hey, we're going to do a video. So thanks for always being a sport.
Absolutely. I'll take that microphone and happy to chat anytime. Absolutely.
Well, before we dive into it, I'm going to give each of you guys a chance just to share with our audience a little bit about you, business, life. John, I'll let you go first, and then we'll learn about Oscar.
Sure. So I guess I normally say that my professional career started when I was going to become a dad. That was kind of the spark that got me out of employee mindset and into something's got to be different. And I became an entrepreneur when I was becoming a father. So I started in the home service business about 8 years ago now. I started a maid service originally, and then pressure washing, exterior cleaning. And that's kind of how I got started in the home service space. My journey really took a big turn when I started working with Responsibid. We had software, I call it my tech stack in my business, including Nice Job was another big piece of that. And I had an idea that I would have a bigger audience, a bigger impact. I could help more people in the industry. The rising tide rises all ships. And I got the opportunity to work with other entrepreneurs and help them streamline their sales process and use software and automation. And I've been doing that full time for almost 3 years now. It's pretty wild that it feels like just yesterday that I started on that journey. But it's kind of a little bit about how I got into the home service business and what I do today.
We'll dive in more to Responsibid. It's one of my favorite things, which we talked about before. We love working together with you guys with virtual assistants, and help so many business owners in such a great way be so much more effective. And I love your story. We'll dive more into that. We'll learn about Oscar, but being able to help more people and have more impact. So I told them before they got on, Oscar will tell about him, but we all share in common. We love helping other, not only getting to have a purpose and a passion in our own businesses, but we share that we get to help other business owners be more successful. And there's just nothing like that, helping business owners be more successful in their business. So
Oscar, it's quite rewarding. Absolutely.
Oscar, you take it away.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to learn even more about John. I love the sound of that story. It's awesome. So yeah, I'm Oscar. The first thing you'll notice is I'm English. I moved to now live in Vancouver, Canada about 5 years ago with my then girlfriend, now wife. And interestingly, before I moved this side of the Atlantic, I was actually a banker. I worked for a large, international investment bank. I worked for Rothschild, and I was in their wealth management division. So looking after we called them the ultra wealthy. And when I moved over here, I just really wanted to kind of get away from the kind of suit and tie finance world. And so I was really excited to kind of move towards small business. It was something where I felt like I could kind of like what John was talking about, just be way more impactful. And instead of helping the crazy rich, save an extra couple million in tax a year, you're actually having a real impact, and you're seeing people's lives change just through kind of things that they can learn or apply in their business day to day. The first company I was involved with is a company called Bench, who are a small business bookkeeping software. here in Vancouver, which was awesome. It kind of gave me a route into that kind of like small business contracting world. And my current role is head of partnerships at Nice Job. So Nice Job is a reputation marketing software. So we help small businesses get more online reviews and referrals. And I love working with Nice Job for the reasons we just kind of discussed. It's when a small business owner tells you that they got 10 reviews in 10 years, and then they started using Nice Job and they got 100 reviews in their first year. It's like the way their kind of face changes and lights up, and how they talk about how excited they are about their business and where they can go from here is something that's really cool to be part of.
Oh, it is. See, that made my face light up and give me goosebumps of it is the things that we get to do. And you said just helping them make little tweaks in their business that changes their lives. We're all kind of part of a tech stack, I guess, or solutions for small businesses in virtual assistants as well. But it's not just the solution. I know you guys will say that we provide a solution, all of us, that does make a difference and helps them operate their business definitely more smoothly, more efficiently, helps them, like you said, get those reviews and makes an impact in their business and their success, definitely. But in working with them, it's just so much more. It's usually not about the solution. It's about, building their confidence, which you alluded to, and just other small tweaks that they can make that, like you said, change their lives.
Yeah. And I found that usually the problem that let's say a service professional or somebody is trying to solve through software is often just like a first layer symptom. What they're really trying to do is, be more present at home. They're trying not to stay up until 9-10 o'clock at night every day. And it's like, sure, we're helping fix a tangible problem and helping them be more efficient. But what I really love is what's the underlying like lifestyle change that they can make because of that, which is really cool.
And then that's a really, really important aspect there, Oscar. I think we can't overstate it enough. I started a business to be present when I was becoming a dad. And then I realized that business owners, in fact, work way more hours than employees do. And it was a work-life balance thing that we were in search of trying to resolve. And we caused a problem by trying to have more free time. I was way busier than I was before. But there was a solution. We started implementing, we had the courage to change. We implemented software. We put systems in place. We leveraged automations. We had somebody else take care of our phones. We were able to start unloading those tasks and focus on. And then, of course, the benefit was I had that time with my family that I was originally in search of. It is possible.
So true. Of like you said, the first layer symptom, like we are helping them with that first layer of symptom that they think to save more time, but then it does have that underlying change that they don't even know. I think a lot of times they come to us out of overwhelm, or maybe they heard they're supposed to do it because somebody else does. Like everyone else is doing this, so I'm supposed to do this solution, and they don't even know. But being able to walk them through how using systems like these and systems like other things can help them really get to the core of what we wanted, of what they wanted most, like you said. Somebody else put it, Michelle was on here from Jill's office a couple weeks ago, and she had this great like one-line pitch that I'm like, I need that. That what she does is help, business owners get their freedom back. The freedom that they first, like you said, started a business for. And I say that of like helping business owners learn to love their business again, that people start businesses thinking like they have these goals in mind and things they want to do for their family. But they get in this seasons of overwhelm and don't know what to do or where to go. And these solutions can help them get their freedom back.
Yeah, absolutely. I a lot of times like to challenge business owners to make a list of all the things they do in a day, and then decide what they can automate, delegate, and delete, and really put emphasis on the things that you don't like to do in your day. Like, I can't think of one person off the top of my mind that would be like, I can't wait to call this customer and ask them for a review. Right? It's not, Oscar, I love you, but it's not what I wake up thinking about. It's just not part of my day that I want to, make a manual task out of. So I could delegate that task. I could hire a virtual assistant and task them with it. I could use software to do it, or I could do a combination of two. The key element is I've knocked something off of my daily task list that I don't enjoy doing, and is super easy to either delegate or automate.
Mm-hmm. That's our whole foundation. Is you working in your unique genius. How can we help business owners work in their unique genius? And that is the exercise. Make a list of every single thing that you do. And is it in your strength zone? One, is it something like it requires you're good at? Two, does it fuel your fire, or does it cause burnout? Sometimes it's, those little things that even though we're good at them and maybe it's something we're supposed to be doing, it just drains the life out of us. And then does it really align with your ultimate mission and vision? And if it doesn't do all three of those things, then how do you, delegate, delete, or automate it? And if it does, how do you, throw some gas on the fire?
The energy that you burn on the task is one thing, but then the extra fuel you're burning because you just really dislike the task. It's a double whammy.
John, it's so funny, the conversation we were having literally like 2 hours ago. John and I were on a separate meeting for Responsibid and Nice Job, and we were having a conversation about how some people get energized by public speaking, and others find it a challenge and have to psych themselves up, and it can maybe kind of take over a whole half a day or a day because of it consumes so much energy. And I think it's so funny that it's coming up again in this conversation, because that story, John, that you told me was something that, if that person could spend less time doing that and just focus on things where they're super efficient and it's like bread and butter, then the results are going to speak for themselves.
Sure. The task might be 30 minutes. It might be 30 seconds. It can be a different size task, but how much time and energy are you really allotting to that task if it takes you half a day to psych up to it? And what other things could we have been doing to move that ball up the mountain that whole time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when it sucks your energy out, things that suck our energy, take away from everything else. Then it takes away that energy from our family. We're no longer loving our business. Sometimes it can be something that we can get done, and I know for a lot of people, I'm going to say this is numbers. Like, a lot of business owners don't like to look at their numbers. Like, it's paralyzing, right? Or the different methodical things, or ask someone for a review. Who wants to get on the phone and do that? You guys provide a solution I think no one wants to do. And those things, like gearing up for it, that energy that it takes, it drains your soul so that you don't have energy for the things like your family and stuff that matters the most. But I think a lot of people don't identify those things. Like, they think they're supposed to, the energy giving one and its strengths, or both are unique to you. And I think some business owners try and do it like a blueprint, like someone else does, instead of what you delegate and delete and automate might be different than somebody else.
I think people just don't come up for air. I think, my impression of people that are running businesses is that all of a sudden it's 6 months or a year later and you're just head down. You've been in it the whole time. And it takes having that purposeful exercise like John goes through, or like you go through, Angela, to actually take a step back and look at all the things I'm doing. Because I think if people were to write them down, they'd be surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. For me, it was easy. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just on my calendar. It was very obvious to me what was the thing, because every Monday I'd have follow-up tasks, Tuesday, and by Friday they'd all got pushed down to Friday, because all week long I didn't want to do them, and they all got pushed to the end of the week, and it was doing follow-up phone calls. So I found software and automated it.
So yours was easy to know because it was like the frog that you did not eat, that you just
Yeah. By the end of the week, all those tasks I got pushed down. Monday they got pushed to Tuesday. Tuesday they got pushed to Wednesday. I could just look at the calendar and say, I don't like that. task. I don't do it because I don't like it.
That's an interesting way of having people look at that. I'm going to have to steal that. And I think I'm going to have to look at that for myself. I'm a big person that uses the planner. So I have that self-awareness, like, what are today's top priorities to do, people I need to connect with, all the things. I have that and I do it. Then I have to write it the next day. That was very eye-opening because there are things I have to move to the next day.
I wonder if there's a pattern there.
And I haven't evidently probably had the self-awareness of like, oh no, those require me. I need to do those, but obviously I'm not doing them for a reason.
The things that are really important to us, they find a way to get done, don't they?
Mm. Well, on that note, that's rather deep. So we're going to revisit it right after we take our first commercial break. We'll be right back.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turf's Up Radio. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Crest is leading the transition from gas-powered lawn equipment for professional operations with the introduction of the industry's first truly game-changing innovation in battery-powered OPE. With the Crest 8-minute cyber system, professional landscapers can now replace their messy gas-powered equipment without sacrificing performance, power, or runtime. The 8-minute cyber system allows for Crest-made 60-volt batteries to fully charge in 8 minutes or less, just enough time for a water break. Complemented by a full line of equipment benchmarked against gas-powered products, landscapers can finally take charge of their business and make the switch to battery. For more information, visit Crest.com. Visit Crest.com. Having issues with your maintenance schedule? Want better routing and ability to track your vehicles when they leave the shop? Do you want to reduce your liability exposure with your vehicles that are moving billboards on the road? GPS Fleet Consulting uses cloud-based dashcam monitoring and can easily track your vehicle maintenance using real odometer readings. GPS Fleet Consulting can also assist you with live phone support and email support with guaranteed same-day responses. Yes, same-day responses. Stop wondering where your trucks are and start managing your fleet with GPS Fleet Management Systems. For more information, visit gpsfleetconsulting.com. That's gpsfleetconsulting.com.
And we're back. Again, those of you joining us on Turf's Up Radio, if you're on Facebook, make sure to leave a comment. Register with StreamYard first so we can see who your name is. I guess I didn't. Some people we can't see their name, but JC says hello. Some more people say hello, but we're not sure who they are. Ask a question if you have it. If you have any questions for us, ask a question, chime in. We don't have quite as many. Last week we were giving away a ticket to Sales Boost. And so, here's Hildy. Here's my daughter. So talk about, do you have kids, Oscar?
No, I don't.
Sadly. Well, talk about an interesting episode since my daughter Hildy said hello. I think both my kids are on here. They're 23 and 21. And John, you'll appreciate this. I decided for some reason to have an unfiltered episode with my daughter Hildy. And I was a guest on another podcast and talking about what it was like to be a business owner and a parent at the same time, and the differences in balancing that. And, because you're kind of doing both at the same time. Your kids are doing business with you. You're trying to be more free. But are you doing that? Just the things of what that's like. And then I had a conversation with my kids about it. And ironically, I said to them, I was like, oh, we were talking about what it's like to be an entrepreneur and business owner, be raised by a business owner. And I had my first business when they were babies, a dance studio, and then was helping other dance studio owners. And both of my kids thought I had never been an entrepreneur, that this business as having virtual assistants was the first time. They're like, what? Why would you know anything about that? You weren't an entrepreneur. So I decided to have her on an unfiltered episode. That was fun. And her perception of what it was being raised and what she thought I was doing. So
very interesting. I'll have to check that out. What was mom doing all those years? If she wasn't running a business, it's interesting. My kids have a very interesting concept of my employment and my work history as well. They, because I'm always here. This is, this is my home office. So kids come home from school, they see dad talking to strangers on Zoom. They don't understand necessarily what we always do, but it would be interesting to hear the perspective of your children.
And it is interesting, I think, for us, of everybody in our lives, whether it be our partner as well. The biggest thing that I learned from that is then I was in the grind of building this business. And sometimes we have to be in seasons where we are in the grind, right? We're doing it for freedom, but sometimes there is a grind season. And it was when her last year of high school, when she was graduating. And in my mind, I was doing it to help set her up to go to this college out of state that she wanted to go to. And, in my mind, I was doing what I needed to do, but I didn't communicate that well. And so it's just sometimes wherever we're at in our job or in a season, what we're doing in our role, like we think we're doing it and doing the best in our role in our business and the best in our role as in our family. But my biggest lesson from that was we don't always communicate to those we love the most that are affected by the hours and decisions we're making for work, what it is we're doing, of like, hey, this is just a season, it's just going to be these 2 weeks or that I'm going to be doing this in these extra hours. And this is why.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry.
So before we go back into, because that was a great, like I said, I feel like I have, you just like opened this door of things that I need to look at for myself. But I want to give you guys more of a chance in the audience to learn a little bit more about your companies and how you specifically help home service business owners. Like what that looks like, what solutions you are helping them with that makes the difference and makes those bigger difference. But what does that solution look like for them? So Oscar, I'm going to let you go first. We kind of went over the highlight of it, but just give us a little more in depth and the difference that you're making for business owners.
Yeah. Nice Job was founded with the philosophy of helping great business the reputation they deserve. And I think what they're trying to the problem we're trying to solve is there's a lot of small service businesses out there that are doing an incredible job that not enough people know about. And they don't necessarily have, multiple thousands of dollars a month they can spend on paid ad budgets either. And so they're looking for ways in which they can really build an awesome online reputation where they can compete against local competition, but do it in a way that we're not breaking the bank. And one of the most amazing ways to do that is through online reviews and is through customer referrals. But I think we're now at the stage in kind of in the business cycle, if you will, that people know that reviews matter. They kind of have cottoned on to the fact that, hey, if I get a load of reviews, it's going to help me rank higher. It's going to help more people find me. But I think people still struggle with how do I actually make that happen. And a lot of people have stories where they've been through the process. They have that awkward conversation with the customer post job saying, hey, would you mind leaving a review? It really makes a difference. The customer says, yeah, for sure, I'll definitely do that. And then it doesn't happen. And then people get disenfranchised with the process and they think, well, it doesn't work for me, so I'm just not going to bother. It's like a waste of my time. And Nice Job just kind of solves that problem by just automating the whole thing and taking it away from being a manual process that you have to remember to do, like from an awkward conversation. And we have like smart follow-up sequences that follow up like 4 times over the space of 2 weeks with each individual customer. And it's amazing the results we get. We typically see that the average business owner collects reviews 4 times faster using Nice Job than they did previously. And then the other stuff we do is all about how do we take that reputation and turn it into more revenue for you. And so we have marketing automation that plugs into your website, that plugs into your social media accounts, that take that reputation and put it to work for your business. So you can turn your customers into a powerful growth driver for you. That's how it works.
Make that work. You did a beautiful job of describing, like, people know that this is what they need, right? We've gotten over the hurdle of everyone knowing, like, we know that you need reviews. Everyone pretty much is there of knowing what a difference that will make in your business. Not only the things you said of how people find you, but it is so much how people make decisions. Is, when you're looking between businesses of like, you're looking for the number of reviews for somebody else to help you make a decision.
Yeah. I think it's only even going further that way. If you think about the generation, the homeowners that are coming into home ownership now, they've spent their formative years basically checking reviews for every purchase they make. And so it's not going to go anywhere, this buying style. Yeah.
It's even more enforced because that's exactly right. This is how we make every decision when we travel, where we're going to eat. Anything that we purchase off of Amazon, it's like every decision that we make is more and more ingrained in how many reviews you have. And so everyone knows that it's important, and you have solved this problem of, as a business owner, this is a huge extra thing, right? Like, you might know your skill and your craft and your business and what you do, but trying to figure this problem out, like, I know, that you have to have this for your business. You know what a big difference it's going to make in people's decision-making power. And you've completely taken the guesswork out of it. Like, you don't have to think about it, business owner. You don't have to solve this problem or how you're going to make it happen. It's all done for you.
Yeah, and just to give a quick Responsibid shout out, when Nice Job gets really exciting is when we integrate the software with other softwares that people are using in their tech stack, as John says. So, for example, when Nice Job and Responsibid are connected, when you close a job in Responsibid, when you finish that project, that automatically triggers Nice Job to do its thing. And so it can really be like a true set it and forget it experience. And that's when I think people get the most benefit, is when they turn it on, they can go about running their business. They don't even have to worry. They just know that this review engine is just working in the background.
And not only, solving that problem that we said, but then on the second part of it, managing that reputation, putting that reputation management into work for you, into work for your marketing. And that integration of the two is so important. And as we work with people and help them with virtual assistants in taking these things off their plate, to delegate, to come in, to be in your office, those are questions that I have. I'm like, what is the technology? Please tell me you're using Responsibid and Nice Job. Because those are things that need to be automated. Whoever it is in your office that's doing it too, as a business owner, you might have decided to place an ad, you might have a team, whether it's an admin that is in person in your office, or it is someone that you're outsourcing and hiring virtually. Too many times they just think, oh, I'm just going to give this all to you. And think that the office admin can solve these problems, whereas your team can be so much more effective. When people are asking us to be their solution, and my first one is Responsibid, because I'm like, you want your team member to do estimates? Like, you need a tool. You need the tool so that they can do it just exactly like you want to. So,
and I think if you're if you are investing in a solution like a virtual assistant, you want to think about, what are the activities that I want them to be doing? Is it just, they could take a load of kind of mundane admin tasks and get them done, or we could think of like high impact, high return activities. And if I can automate some of the mundane tasks, then I can actually put my, my human capital to work on really high impact activities.
Yes.
Absolutely. That 5-minute task every day, over a week, over a year, you've got several days worth of work tied up in a very easy to automate redundant task.
Mm-hmm. Well, that goes right over into you, John. So now we'll let you tell us how Responsibid helps.
Yeah, so Responsibid is such a big space, and so many people use Responsibid in so many different ways. And I'd even say a lot of people probably misunderstand what Responsibid is. In the fact that I still get a lot of conversations where people say, I don't want to do online quotes, and that's okay. Responsibid was actually built and designed to do your in-person quotes. While we do have a very powerful tool that can also give online quotes, and shout out to Nice Job. This is one of my favorite parts of the tech stack. When a customer's on my website and I've spent money to drive someone to a website to learn about me and hopefully engage, they've come to the website. Now the ball's in my court. I've got to get them to do the next thing. Having tools on your website, for me, we used Responsibid. I was a small operation. I wore all the hats. I had to do sales, and I couldn't do everything. I was a new dad. I was doing follow-up. I was washing. I was hiring. I was training. I was marketing. I was growing a business. I had to start taking some of those tasks off and take off the hat. And for me, that was a big part of it, was having a system in place that could collect my website traffic, generate them from leads into quotes, and then we would have, when people are on our website, they could see our social proof. Nice Job was in the bottom of my website, always reminding people that someone just left us a review. While people were going through my sales process and learning and reading our About Us page, they were getting the social proof. It was just another layer to the psychology. Some people use Responsibid because they really needed follow-up. That was another place I was extremely weak at. I would push all of my tasks, as we discussed. All of my follow-up tasks would just get pushed to the end of the week because I didn't like doing that task. It felt grimy to me. How many times can I call Miss Jones and say, do you want me to wash your windows? Maybe once, maybe twice. It was something that I just didn't enjoy doing. And then some offices really do get the benefit out of our scheduling, of being able to smartly and accurately schedule jobs around where they're going to be. You already have a technician in the area that has the capacity to be able to do the job. So there's just so much in that echo space. Quoting quickly, online, in person, and over the phone. And Angela, that's something I didn't even talk about. Having a tool in place for your virtual assistant or your call center to not just take a message and send me an email saying you missed a call. I know I missed a call. But giving them a tool like Responsibid lets a virtual assistant go through a sales process with your customers over the phone, to take them through that experience and that journey. You've given them the tools. You've removed the bottleneck of the sales process, which is often the business owner thinks that he's the only one that can do it, or they're the only one that can do it. Mm-hmm. And putting it into a system that allows your team to do those tasks for you.
Yeah.
Right. So, I fear I got a little bit off track, but Responsibid is your sales system. It's your sales funnel that helps generate revenue. It helps you package and bundle, build value in the sales process. This is something that I struggle with all the time. The most common question I see on social media, Angela, is how do I price this job? And the glaring gap there is they want someone else to tell them how much to charge, but they've neglected to think about how much the job costs, or the demographics, or if they've got a team or a shop or a warehouse. All their numbers are different. So using tools like Responsibid gives you the ability to really understand your cost and how to quote a job with confidence for profit, how to build value in the sales process. We're not quoting $700 and trying to expect the customer to think we're this really, really expensive company without having any social proof or the reviews or the systems or professionalism to back it up. But giving them a way to buy options, packages and bundles, to automate my sales process, to automate my follow-up, to make scheduling just so simple. We were removing all the friction and roadblocks from a customer's perspective of how to get a quote, how to buy a job, and how to get the services that I'm looking for that I maybe don't even know that I need.
Yeah. You did a good job condensing that and explaining all of it. Because there is so much. But again, it solves this problem as the business owner. Like you said, I think so many people are throwing, kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall with the pricing, right? They think this is what my competitor is priced. This is what somebody else told me this job should be. So I'm just going to say that. And again, I'm guilty of this too as an entrepreneur. A lot of us do not like to look at our numbers. So instead of getting buried and lost in trying to figure out all those, what are my unique costs and everything that goes into those jobs, there's a tool that helps you figure that out, how you should be priced. And then automates this sales process so that you aren't the bottleneck, like you said, as the business owner. So often in the beginning, as you're doing this, you're wearing all the hats of the business, like you said, and you kind of have all the numbers and the logic and the sales system just in your head. And so it's hard to pass it off to somebody else when you're like, this is kind of how we sell. This is how I do it. It's hard for somebody else to be you. And it is hard to create your own system because you didn't have one for yourself. You just were you.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. And we actually, we created a free guide. Anyone that's looking for a way to help price their jobs with confidence, visit responsibid.com/calc, CALC. There's a free worksheet that you can download. There's a video that shows you how to set it up. Fixed costs, variable costs, job site efficiencies, how long it takes you to do certain things, profit margins. But download that for free. Figure out what your costs are, and then it's very easy to price with confidence and know that you're fair.
Great.
And you stay in business because you're profitable. That's a
really
big, important thing.
That's a really big, important thing.
So that you can, now you're selling more jobs. You've got a higher ticket average and you're working less. Guess what? You can love the business again. You can remember why you started that business because now you're profitable. You've got that time with your family that you were originally searching. At least that's what I considered success. It was enough money to do the things we wanted to do and the time to do it.
That's a good version of success. We got to take one more commercial break, and then we're going to wrap it up real quick after that with just a couple more questions. So we'll be right back.
Have you considered artificial turf? It's great for areas with high precipitation, which means no mud after a heavy rain and no more mowing wet grass. Today's artificial turf is made using recycled materials and helps to reduce water consumption in areas of drought. Turf Envy's artificial turf is constructed of quality raw materials, safe for pets, humans, and our environment. With decades of experience, our staff can help with support, training, and product education to give you confidence when estimating a project for a potential customer. Learn more at turfenvyusa.com today.
You're listening to Turf's Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Hey everybody, Wayne Voles, the Prophet, your host of Profit Time here on Turf's Up Radio. If you listen to my show, you know I'm all about profit. As an industry, profit is something we fail to meet most of the time. If you're working hard but not seeing the results that you deserve, Profits Unlimited is here to help. We offer processes and systems designed specifically to make your company more successful, more profitable, and certainly more efficient. When you're ready to take your company to the next level, reach out to me at profitsareus.com. That's profitsareus.com. And don't forget to turn into Profit Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m.
Are you a military family with a spouse on deployment away from home? Did you know that nonprofit Project Evergreen has thousands of volunteers across the country ready to help military families with lawn, landscape, and snow removal services? We call it Green Care and Snow Care for troops. If you are a military family and would like to receive this free service, or if you'd like to volunteer to help, visit projectevergreen.org. Project Evergreen, creating a greener, healthier, cooler Earth, 1 yard at a time.
Busy work burning you out? Kick it to the curb and do more of what you love. How? With Landscape Management Network to spend less time creating estimates, tracking crews, doing job costing, managing invoices and payroll, and more. FYI, the average LMN contractor spends 50% less time doing payroll, increases profits, and lands more jobs. Put an end to burnout. Visit golmn.com/turfsup. That's golmn.com/turfsup to get started.
You're on mute.
And I'm on mute. I forget to mute. Unmute myself. Welcome back to our last segment. I got so excited in the last one, I almost forgot to take a commercial break. So we are wrapping up the episode, and I didn't prequel you guys with this question, so you are on the spot for one question. Since the show is Unleash Your Courage, we know that it takes courage to get outside of our comfort zone. Growth happens outside of our comfort zone. And so our challenge to the guest each week is, what's one thing that you need to do to get uncomfortable, either in your business or in your life? It's usually something that comes to mind, like something you've been avoiding, a decision you've been avoid making, or something you kind of know that you need to do, but you've been unwilling to do. So I asked each of us to share, like, what's one thing you're committed to doing in the next week to get uncomfortable? And then it's a call of action to the guests as well. So whichever one of you wants to go first, is there one thing you need to do this week to get uncomfortable?
I've got to keep thinking.
Okay. I'll let you guys think as I do a quick sales boost promo. I'm like, as I'm thinking of mine, it's usually right at the top of my head. And we have a big event. Sales Boost is starting next week, a week from today, here in Wilmington, North Carolina. An incredible lineup of speakers and vendors, and is just going to be amazing place to network with other people, to get energy, to go back in your businesses and really kill it. Events are one of my favorite things, just to be around awesome people and make connections that will change your life. So if you haven't registered, we still have 5 spots left. I'll put it in the comment, salesboostlive.com. But I can hardly think of, there's Vitality. Vitality's coming. And Kurt will be here with Responsibid.
Yes.
So my mind is so focused on what I can't forget of Sales Boost, like all the little things that I usually have mine right off the top of my head, but I don't. My uncomfortable often has to do with letting go. So there's probably something in that of my uncomfortable is usually, as a business owner, we grip to control of things in our business so much, right? Grip to control of my plan, my way. This is exactly how I want it to look. And there's different things that in order for us not to be the bottleneck in our business, in order for this event to get done, I'm going to have to let go of a few things being my way. And
yeah. First of all, we're super excited about Sales Boost. It's always a great event. The speaker lineup's out of this world, and I'm glad Kurt's going to be able to join. It's spring break for my family, so I'm not going to be traveling to North Carolina, unfortunately. But go see Kurt and go say hi. But I'm going to bring this back to your question, Angela. So Kurt Kempton, if you've ever had a chance to meet him or seen him speak live, is a phenomenal public speaker. He's just really, really good at it. He's engaging. He's charismatic. He's great on stage. He has a great presence. But he doesn't enjoy it. It's not particularly fun for Kurt. He gets drained by it. You would think that he was an extrovert if you met him, but he's not. He's an introvert. And it takes a lot to charge his battery to do that thing. So yesterday, he pushed me a little bit to get a little bit uncomfortable and start doing more of the appearances for Responsibid. And less than 12 hours later, with less than an hour notice, I got an invite to jump on the Turfs Up Radio podcast with my good friend Angela, and I did it. So I'm not uncomfortable, so I don't know if it's really fair, but it is not necessarily my comfort zone. Being a I love to meet people. I love to go to the trade shows. I love to network. I love to do all those things at shows, but I'm not like, I don't flourish on stage. I sweat and I lose my words and I forget how to talk. And so being a public speaker or a live on a show that's live is me being a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, good job. And how awesome that it was like right after this decision of like, you're going to put yourself out there more. And then you just leapt on the opportunity. So,
well,
good for
and
you.
that's the segue. That's for the business owner. There's a blocker in your way. There's something that it just, you need help. You need a coach. You need a mentor. You got to change something. Guys, we just have to look into ourselves and know that we're not perfect. And you want to surround yourself with other people that can help you with some of those other things. But the definition of insanity is to do the same results and expect a different action or different reaction. If you know that you're stuck in a rut, if your business isn't growing, if you own a job and you're just grinding it away, I challenge you to make a list of the tasks you do in your day-to-day and start figuring a way to get those off of your day so that you can focus on the big level tasks that you want to do to achieve your goals. Be the change. I just stole that from JC and I didn't even mean to. JC, I love you, brother. JC is a motivator for me. JC is the reason that I wake up every morning and know that I have to work out. Him being uncomfortable or getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is making me, so JC challenges me a lot and I appreciate it very much. And if I can make one person just make their day-to-day a little bit easier, grow your business, get out of your own way. It's not scary. It's a proven thing. Scaling to a 7-figure window cleaning company 10 years ago was a unicorn. There was very few of them. Now it's very common with the coaching programs and the systems. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You're not great at everything. Figure out what you're not great at or what you don't love and take off that hat. Let a virtual assistant help you. Get a system in place. Find a sales calculator to know your prices. But the help is all out there. Get out of your own way.
I love that. That was powerful ending. No pressure there, Oscar.
Hey, no, I think actually, Angela, it was what you were saying that really kind of got me thinking. Nice Job has gone through our kind of partnerships organization at Nice Job has gone through a whole bunch of growth in the last year. And in the last 6 months, so I hired a couple of team members. One of them went on maternity leave, and so we've backfilled her for that kind of maternity cover contract. And I found myself jumping into partner relationships much more than I was previously. And that it's funny, like that's the work I really love doing. I love kind of problem solving with partners, being on calls, figuring out what we're going to do, how we're going to kind of grow together. But it's what I have to start doing less if I'm going to kind of grow my team around me and actually set our team up to be in a position where we can kind of keep growing. So I would say that's probably the thing I need to embrace over the coming weeks is be okay handing off more work and not being involved in everything. So that's something that I'm going to have to be held to. So you feel free to check back in with me and John, you can hold me on to it.
We will. We have some stuff we can hold each other accountable to. You and I are going to try and let go, and empower our teams to do it. And John, we expect to see you on some more shows and stages. Well, thank you guys so much. This was such a great conversation. I appreciate you guys dropping things and getting on here and just sharing so much with the audience and sharing so much with me. Like I said, I have some great takeaways from this conversation and things that I need to look at. So I appreciate you guys.
I'm suspect that you will find at least one task on your daily planner that gets delegated.
It is. Probably more than one.
Thanks so much for having me on last minute. I really appreciate the chance to come on and chat to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. And thank you to the audience. Whether, again, you're listening with us, part of our Turfs Up family, or here with us and said hello on Facebook or by recording, we're live here every Wednesday. What do you need to do this week to get uncomfortable? We'll see you next week.